Hello and welcome to The One Show with Alex Jones.
And Matt Baker.
Google is everywhere. It's on our computers and phones. It's taking photos of where we live, photos of space. It's even about to send its own fleet of balloons up into the skies.
With that much power, you see, comes great responsibility. And many believe Google isn't living up to its mantra, which is, don't be evil.
Gentlemen, my name is Dr. Google, and this is my evil online empire. From my headquarters, I can track your every move, find out what you're shopping for, and follow your most private conversations. In the past 5 years, I've turned over 11 billion pounds, but paid corporation tax of just 10 million.
Just 10 million? That's 1,000th of its revenue. And it partly explains why a lot of people are currently seeing Google as a bit of a Bond villain. Last month, its top brass had to explain the company's tax affairs to a committee of angry MPs.
All you're being asked for here, you're a company that says you do no evil, and I think you do evil.
To be fair, evil to me suggests something like the devil. Google, on the other hand, I'm not so sure. But if you've got an unofficial corporate motto that says, don't be evil, then you're setting yourself up for a fall, aren't you? You're saying to everybody, we're the good guys.
Especially when it came to light that they'd been avoiding paying tax by routing cash through company accounts in Ireland. And that information was confirmed by a whistleblower.
Barney, what did you blow the whistle on?
Well, Google were in the press saying that they didn't do any selling in the UK. And the reason they said that is because if they don't do selling in the UK, then they don't have to pay very much tax here. And I worked for Google's sales team for 4 years, and I just wanted to make everyone realise that Google had a sales team here in the UK, and that selling is exactly what the sales team did. And Google makes billions of pounds in the UK, but of course, as we know, it pays hardly anything in tax here.
Let's make one thing clear. What Google is doing is perfectly legal under international taxation laws. And they aren't the only ones at it. Other multinationals like Starbucks, Amazon and Facebook have all faced similar criticisms. But let's be honest, if you had the opportunity legally to pay less tax, wouldn't you take it?
But for the doubters, Google's tax affairs are just the tip of an iceberg. Because stored away on Google's servers are reams and reams of personal information about us.
It's also come under pressure to do more to block access to indecent material. But that's not holding the company back. Google processes over 3 billion searches around the world every day. Its sheer size has even changed the way internet searches work. It's looking into ways of automating your home and making a driverless car. It owns YouTube, and of course Google Maps, and everything you do on it is stored. So it could know an awful lot more about you than you think.
Rory, just run us through some of the ways in which Google can get access to our information.
Okay, so you've got search, you've got Gmail, you've got calendars, you've got chats, and you've got Google Android. So anything that goes into or out of your mobile phone, they potentially have access to.
Is it possible to de-Google your life?
Maybe if you move to Timbuktu. That's kind of the simple way. Apart from that, just search for Google Dashboard and you can see exactly what information they hold on you. And then you can start to scale back the amount of information that you give them.
Would you say Google are evil?
I wouldn't say it on camera because they know so much about me.
Google is changing the world and how we do things. These entrepreneurs are definitely among those who say it's for the better. This is a technical hub supported and part funded by Google.
We provide them with the facilities, we provide them with access to an active community, to mentorship and support, so they can become successful in launching their own businesses.
So what's in it for Google?
This is a non-for-profit activity for Google. We don't write checks, we don't buy the startups, we don't recruit engineers from the startups. It's a way for us to give back to the startup community and create a very active and successful internet ecosystem in the UK.
Are you offering these businesses tax advice?
We do not offer the business tax advice.
Just as well.
Well, Google didn't want to comment, which is interesting because I thought they wanted to share everything. But anyway, technology correspondent Rory Kethlin-Jones has followed Google more than most. So, Rory, let's have a look at their good versus evil balance sheet.
Well, the good thing is that this has got to be one of the cleverest, most innovative companies in the whole world. It's got thousands of engineers working on new ideas, from those driverless cars to these new glasses where you'll be able to have the internet come straight into your eyes, to those fleets of balloons which are going to bring the internet to remote places. We all use all of their services. We all get a lot from them. The bad side, of course, is what we've heard about the tax, what we've heard about how much control they have over all of our data and the worries about privacy. But I think the real thing with Google is the mistake it maybe made right at the beginning was to say that we're not evil. They try to paint themselves almost as a charity. I was speaking to a guy from the company the other day. He was telling me how wonderful the new Google Maps is. And I said, and how does it make money? And he looked at me like I'd used a bit of a dirty word. And I think they've got to accept they're a business. They're a business making huge amounts of money, and there are compromises involved in that.
Yeah. And Billy, on the privacy issue then, how do you feel that your government now has access to all your emails and your personal data?
You know, I'm personally okay about it, but I also understand why people wouldn't be. They want their privacy. But I also think, I know I tell everybody in the World Team Tennis office that whatever you write, know that the whole world can see it. Are you going to be all right with it? And to your point, you said the security people as well. So you have to know that's the deal now, and you have to think before. The only trouble is sometimes I've hit that send button, you know, the send, and I go, I'm not ready to send it, I want to bring it back. And I'm like, oh no, bring it back. How can I retrieve it before anybody sees it? But that's the only time. But otherwise, I think you just have to think differently, and I don't know, secrets don't work, and when you try to hide things, they don't usually work anyway. But I just think we have to be alert. Are you willing to have the whole world look at it and live with it? And the security aspect.
And from our point of view here in Britain, when we think Google, Apple, Microsoft, Yahoo, Facebook, all of these companies are in the US, we're giving them all of our data. They may be lovely companies, but it's them that decides what happens to our data, not us.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rory. It's very complex. Everything usually is, once you get the deeper dive. It just is. But they are a company.
That's the thing, they just don't realise what they're creating. That seems to be the problem. Anyway, on we go.